What's up, ladies and gentlemen? James Williams, the one and only Stinkonian ambassador, and I'm back. There's some things we need to discuss. I was talking to my business partner this morning, and he highlighted some things that I think are very important for you, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very important. Let's thug it out through the first 3 minutes. And let me say this first thing unto you. You are greatly loved and greatly appreciated. The simple fact that you woke up this morning is a blessing. And I want you to have a wonderful day. You might even hear this at 7 o'clock tonight. When you go to sleep tonight, you're going to sleep extremely well because God is going to be with you. Now, I want to say something to you. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems as if the Stinkonian ambassador has struck a few nerves. Now, I don't understand if the lizard people defenders get the fact that I am an appointed ambassador. It's an appointment that I have. I don't have no choice but to do what I'm doing because it's an appointment. So I can't help you if you're upset. But what I will say is this. We've had lizard people slither into the comments, and now they're saying that the guy who told you that you have no free will, that God doesn't exist, that you don't have a spirit or a soul, all that's over. They're saying that he's a good guy who's warning everybody about what the globalist is doing. I want to say this to you. Excuse me, my nose is stuffed up. Slithering lizard mother fluffers. You do not piss on the back of our necks and tell us that it's rain. But ain't nobody dumb. You don't get to stand on top of a bridge and piss on us and be like, oh, it's thunderstorming outside. That ain't what's happening over here in the dark waters. We don't do it like that. You understand? You heard me? You don't do it like that, mother fluffer. All right. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to lay out something for you. Now, I don't really feel comfortable going into the brrr, brrr that's going on. You know what I'm saying? The brrr, because I know what's coming down the pipeline is clear. The brrr is going to get people handled. They're going to get mollywopped on the YouTube. You go. So no, I'm not talking about the brrr, but when you hear me say brrr, you know what I'm talking about. Brrr, they're gonna be doing that soon, right? So I'm looking at all the information about the brrr, and I'm realizing, you know, these people wild out here in these streets. These lizards is wild, and they rolling out that brrr on everybody. So I said, man, hold on. Let me just rewind a little bit. Let me go back out here in these streets. Go back to the beginning and see some things. Yeah, so I went to go look. Oh, I'll put it in context for you. But I got one for you that you need to be real mindful of. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. The Stinkonian ambassador done had way too many damn hamburgers. Yes, sir. He done had way too many hot sausage sandwiches. Too much shrimp. Way too many damn boiled potatoes. Too much boiled corn. I had too much. But I be exercising. I be getting my walk on, hit the weights here and there, boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? I ain't what I was in my 20s, but let me tell you something. You see all y'all that's running around and y'all got that lizard weight loss? I ain't gonna use the name of it because that's how I go. But if you don't, you're supposed to grab your fat right here and you inject it, that lizard weight loss supplement in you, I'm gonna need you to be a little careful. Because you see, when they start talking about these things, something wrong with it. I'm sorry. If these lizard people is talking about it specifically, something is wrong with it. It's just plain and simple. That's all it is. But I'm going to let you hear one of the lizard people, but we're going to put it all back in context. The prophet of the lizard people, what did he tell us? Let's go back to at the stage.
You have people forming up opinions and desires and then voting for a government that represents them. But we know it works both ways. The government has enormous power to shape the opinions and desires of the population, and this power only increases today with the new technologies of surveillance, mass surveillance, and social media, and so forth. So when the government can, the government is not just responsive to the will of the people. It can shape the will of the people. And this really destabilizes the democratic system. Also, the media has an enormous role to play in this. that if the government has too much control.
All right. Somebody be like, GW, I done heard this before. No, you ain't heard it enough. I'm sorry, you ain't heard it enough. And this is the context for what you about to listen to next, because this is the mouthpiece. This is the prophet. So if you don't interpret things from this mouthpiece, all the rest of the stuff just goes over your head. So I'm going to keep on making you remember what's said. If you don't like it, you can turn it off. Oh, sidebar note. Hold on, let me tell you something. Man, I'm looking at one of the comments and people like, bro, you need to get a better camera. Listen, homie, they got a little button right there. I think it's called Super Chat. I'd be happy to accept some money from you for a whole nother camera. Go look on eBay and see what it costs and hit that button and give me that amount of money. Until then, such a mother fluffing itself up. Back to what we were saying.
Control over the media, then it's not like people are forming their own independent views about what's happening. We now have the power, or at least not we, but some governments and corporations for the first time in history have the power to basically hack human beings. There is a lot of talk about hacking computers, hacking smartphones, hacking bank accounts, but the big story of our era is the ability to hack human beings. And by this I mean that if you have enough data and you have enough computing power, you can understand people better than they understand themselves, and then you can manipulate them in ways which were previously impossible. And in such a situation, the old democratic system stopped functioning. We need to reinvent democracy for this new era in which humans are now hackable animals.
All right. We've gotten to the point where we need to establish how you are perceived. Now, which way do I want to go first? Let's talk about lizard weight loss. Hey, man, if you're a little overweight, hit the gym. You know what I'm saying? Get the sit-ups in. Hit the bench press. Get on a bike. Go ride and get outside. And I'm going to tell you why you need to do this. And I'm going to show you why. Because watch what this man says. Now, remember, this is the lizard prophet prophesying over you, telling you what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? The lizard financier is talking about this.
That through the technological changes, we're going to see more advancements. We underappreciate the technological changes that are going on in medical research, whether it is the GLPs,
Pause. GLP. Now, mind you, he didn't say the name of it, but I'm going to need you to go type in. I want you to do this yourself. Take the responsibility yourself. You on your phone, you on your laptop, type in, what is a GLP medicine? What is GLP? Or list of names of GLP medical products. Just want you to go look. And the reason why I'm putting the onus on you is because it's certain things that if I say, I'm setting myself up because this stuff lays out on the YouTube. You know what I'm saying? These videos lay out like in the sun like an alligator. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been down here in New Orleans, you know, alligators like to bask out in the sun. Sun representing the light. That means it's getting seen. So if it ain't heard now, it may be heard later. And these people don't care about banging out and pause. These people don't care about like messing you over later on. They'll do it retroactively. So I'm going to need you to take a little responsibility for you and your family. Because a lot of y'all running out, grabbing onto their fat and going every day. And this is one of them lizard people talking about what you're using. Now, I want you to listen. And I'm going to interpret this for you. I had to listen over and over and over again. I mean, probably, 30 times just to really catch what was being said. Because the way it was said was so slick that where's that? Here we go.
the weight loss drugs and how that is going to be, it's very expensive and inflationary in the short run, but in the long run, it's deflationary because it's going to be extending lives, but also improving the quality of long-term health as we reduce, obesity around the world. All these things just, in my mind, create a very solid investment foundation.
Let's run it again.
GLPs, the weight research, whether it is the GLPs, the weight loss drugs, and how that is going to be, it's very expensive and inflationary in the short run, but in the long run, it's deflationary because it's going to be extending lives, but also improving the quality of long-term health.
All right. So when I first heard this, I said to myself, I said, self, this sounds extremely reasonable. I did. I said, self, this sounds extremely reasonable. It's going to be improving long-term health. It's going to be more costly upfront, and it's going to be inflationary. And then I focused on more costly and inflationary. I said, hold on, James. What is inflation? Inflation is where markets prices go up across the board in markets, right? Why is it going to cost so much more money to save people's lives? And I'm sitting there saying, hold on. Let me just think from a non-lizard perspective. And I want y'all to think from a non-lizard perspective. Let's say that you, right? Let's say that you have a family of 4. And let's say you're an African-American family, Black family. Let's just say a Black American family. Sound like the African-Americans, most of these, I ain't from Africa, I'm from New Orleans. So a Black American family. Better yet, an American family with Black-skinned people. Let's go that way. All right. And the average Black male has prostate cancer because we have a tendency towards having prostate cancer, right? Nope, that's not even applicable. Let's rewind. Diabetes. All right. So husband and wife, both of them got diabetes. They get on some type of medicine that helps them with the diabetes. It makes them live longer, right? How is your life being extended inflationary? How is your life being extended more expensive? So I said, okay, self, let's look at it from the perspective of the person that they're calling an animal. You spend less time in the hospital. You spend less money on medicine. You spend more time with your family, and you live longer. How is that inflationary for that individual? Then I said, okay, that don't make no sense. I said, okay, let's go to the marketplace. Let's go to the marketplace. How is that inflationary for the market? You live longer, you work longer, you pay more taxes. That's not inflationary for the market. And then I said to myself, I said, self, this don't make no damn sense. So then I listened to it again, and I listened to it again, and I listened to it again, and I listened to it again and again and again and again. And I said, you dirty mother fluffers. This everything they say is upside down. Their language is lizard language, which is coded language. So unless you interpret it and flip it upside down, it don't make no damn sense. But when you flip it, it make all the sense in the world. It make all the sense in the world. It makes all the sense in the entire world. You want to know why it makes sense? If you ain't caught it yet, I'm going to play it again. Because I need you to come to the understanding. Let's go from here. Always from the beginning.
Change how we do everything. And through the technological changes, we're going to see more advancements. We underappreciate the technological changes that are going on in medical research, whether it is the...
Now, when he says we, talking about the lizard people, not you and me, context of who this conversation is happening with, the people in that room. We underestimate the technological advances. So once you put yourself in that lizard mindset, this is a king lizard comforting other lizards about what's going on around them because they have a lizard agenda. So now we're in the right shoes, we're sitting in the right seat, right? Go and sit in your lizard throne with me for a second. Sit in your lizard throne. This is itching my head. Sit in your lizard throne, right? Everybody there? You in your throne? You in your throne? You in your lizard throne? Sit like this. Sit like this. Sit like this so we can throne. All right, we in our lizard throne, right? We're talking to other lizards. We already established based on what this lizard said.
The whole idea that humans have, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over.
All right, so we've already established this is the mindset. But we got to put our own selves in that lizard mindset, right? So now we're sitting on our lizard throne. Poke your chest out like that. If you got big boobies, ladies, don't do that. You might hurt yourself. Poke your chest out. I'm a lizard. Now let's listen to it from a lizard perspective.
The weight loss drug, we change how we do everything. And through the technological changes, we're going to see more advancements. We underappreciate the technological changes that are going on in medical research, whether it is the GLPs, the weight loss drugs, and how that is going to be. It's very expensive and inflationary in the short run, but in the long run, it's deflationary because it's going to be extending lives, but also improving the quality of long-term health as we reduce obesity around the world.
As we reduce obesity around the world, how is a drug that you're rolling out inflationary in the short term? Now, there's a piece of this clip that's missing that I need to put it more context to it. Because somebody who's extremely intelligent gonna say, no, what he says makes sense. But then he starts to talk about government stimulus right after this. How government stimulus is kicking in and how we have this stimulus. So what I'm saying is hold on, bro. There's no inflationary cost to it at all because you got all this stimulus. And the U.S. still has government stimulus, but it ain't going to the people because it's going to corporations. I'm sitting there saying to myself, hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. Hold on. The only way you experience that long-term deflation that he's talking about is if people ain't around. They ain't around. And then he uses this in context with this lizard weight loss supplement. That's the only way you're going to get that long-term deflation. Now, you might be saying, oh, bro, you tripping. You tripping, bro. You bugging out. You wilding out. I know. I understand. Watch this. Another at all, but watch it.
In this year's annual letter, Melinda and I take the toughest questions we get asked and give our answers. One that's come up for a long time is, as we make the world healthier, is the population going to get so big that feeding everybody and maintaining the environment is going to be impossible? Here we can
context. Lizards sitting in their lizard thrones talking to lizards, not talking to you, not talking to me, talking to lizards. Dirty sandy beaches talking to other dirty sandy beaches. Mother fluffing snakes on the plane talking to other mother fluffing snakes on the plane. You have to maintain that mindset, because if not, none of this makes sense. You understand? Watch.
See a chart that looks at the total world population over the last several hundred years. And at first glance, this is a bit scary. We go from less than 1 billion in 1800, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.4 billion where we are today is happening even faster. So Melinda and I wondered whether providing new medicines and keeping children alive, would that create more of a population problem? What we found out is that as health.
Did you hear that? Why is that the question in your mind? Whether keeping people alive. I'm going to rewind it for you again. The God complex you just heard. I'm just going to let you hear it.
Keeping children alive, would that create more of even faster? So Melinda and I wondered whether providing new medicines and keeping children alive, would that create more of a population problem?
Keeping who alive?
And then 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.4 billion where we are today is happening even faster. So Melinda and I wondered whether providing new medicines and keeping children alive would that create more of a population problem. What we found out is that as health improves, families choose to have less children. And this effect is very, very dramatic.
Does that make any damn sense to you? I mean, literally, just outside of the lizard mind, does that make any sense to you? As health improves, families decide to have less children. What is health? The statement does not make any sense. So it begs the question, what is health to this lizard? What is health? That's what I'm gonna find out the next video, because that's the key word. What is health to that lizard? I suspect health is is translated to whatever products that they put on the market, the lizards put on the market for you to consume and use. Health is what the lizards determine you're gonna use and put in your body. Why do I say that? I say it because of this.
Come to terms with the fact that, no matter, again, this is where philosophy attacks human beings. And by this I mean that if you have enough data and you have enough computing power, you can understand people better than they understand themselves. And then you can manipulate them in ways which were previously impossible. And in such a situation, the old democratic system stopped functioning. We need to reinvent democracy for this new era in which humans are now hackable animals. You know, the whole idea that humans have, you know, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever I choose, whether in the election.
The key part to this, and it's squeezed in between the part about the election and the part about the food. But the key part to it is nobody knows what's happening inside of me. So it's talking about your body. And that's what leads me to the conclusion that the definition of health being used here is not what you think it is. But if you're a lizard and you speak amongst lizards and you understand lizard code, then it will make all the sense in the world what he's saying to other lizards.
Every country of the world, this is repeated. The population growth goes down as we improve health. So we've taken that chart that shows the global population growth, and we've actually extended it out all the way to 2100. And we can see that instead of continuing, it actually flattens out. Another way to see that is through this rate of population growth. And you can see that in the 60s, that reached a pretty high number, over 2% per year, and it's now come way, way down. Now, 11 billion people, still a lot, but the good news is that the faster we improve health, the faster family size goes down, and so we can feel great about saving those lives.
You know, you getting it? This thing on the ambassador ain't crazy. People say it, but I know I ain't crazy. It's upside down world. I'm just gonna take you back to the chart, dog. It don't make no sense. Let's take the average family. Let's take a family of now remember, focus was on, the very initial focus was on children. Remember? Well, I gotta show it. But then it starts talking about health of families. Watch this. Let's just start from the beginning.
Melinda and I take the toughest questions we get asked and give our answers. One that's come up for a long time is, as we make the world healthier, is the population going to get so big that feeding everybody and maintaining the environment is going to be impossible? Here we can see a chart that looks at the total world population over the last several hundred years.
You're talking about world population,
and at first
right?
glance, this is a bit scary. We go from less than 1 billion in 1800, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.4 billion where we are today is happening even faster. So Melinda and I wondered whether providing new medicines and keeping children alive would.
The focus of the population growth chart is what? Thank you. I know that you answered it in your own brain because I heard you answer it, right? And so the conversation swings from that to talking about the population and keeping people healthy. So therefore, the initial conversation, the initial frame of the conversation, and if I'm not mistaken, I explained to you how conversation framing works. Conversation was framed based on population growth, health, and then the target, which was children. You know, the more you look at the lizard people, the more you pay attention to them, really truthfully, the more angry, it's easier to become more angry because the people tell you what it is. So I'm just going to say this to you. This is what the state-owned ambassador is going to say to you. And I want you to listen to the ambassador good. You need to be paying attention to what you're doing with this body, this vessel that the Lord gave you. You know what I'm saying? You need to pay attention to what you've been putting in it. I ain't going to tell you what to do, what not to do. I'm just going to tell you to pay attention to what you're doing. Because it's clear that these people want deflation. And the only way to have the level of a deflationary economy is for you to go night-night. For you to go night-night. You heard me? They want you to go night-night. Long, good night. And that's what the lizard people telling you. That's what they're telling you. That's all I'm saying. I'm out of here. Let me just go for 30 more seconds so I can hit the optimum video length. Maybe it'll push it all the way out into the algonese. But I'm just saying, you need to pay attention. 15 seconds. Just filibustering. Just filibustering. I want to say something else to you. Those of you who get to this point to where you watch these videos, I don't know if you understand it, but you are the people who's supposed to be watching. Because the algorithm opened up when I started doing crazy shorts, being ridiculous. Because that's what the algorithm wants. It wants you to be absolutely ridiculous. So I was ridiculous. And so there's people who be like, oh, this guy's dumb. He's stupid. This is dumb. You're trolling. You're this, you're that. The people who actually have an attention span is who I'm targeting. And you got an attention span. You understand what I'm saying? You heard me? So I filtered through everybody else to get to you. You special. Don't let them reach behind and just unbutton your bra like that. Don't let them do your bra like that. Pop your bra and then they sliding around like this. Don't let them do that to you. Don't let them do it to you. Don't let them do